This is a tribute to Noam Chomsky and other alternative voices. As being a young man, in graduate school, early 20s, I came across Manufacturing Consent, a book, and then I ran into the documentary. And being in graduate school, and basically that's what I've learned in the educational surface, is you have to be on the fringes. They're not going to give you the cutting edge stuff, especially now in higher education. It's backed by, government and the military, and so it's going to be conservative. If it's subsidized by anything else, this government institutions where it's getting money from, it's going to be conservative. It's not going to be so much cutting edge like you saw in the 60s and 70s, maybe in Berkeley and things like that and other progressive universities. But it's being in that system of foundation, and you have to look on the outer edges of alternative voices, progressive voices, and Noam Chomsky for the last 40, 50 years has really been a maverick of alternative voice. And I'm surprised that he hasn't been, threatened or in jail by the content that he's talking about and his material. And one thing, that I ran across is Manufacturing Consent, and the documentary in my early 20s, what really literally saved me thousands of dollars. And basically what Chomsky is saying is the mass media, for the most part, is just an outlet, an instrument to promote the ideas of the establishment, especially corporations, to promote to their advertising and products of this culture of consumption and the culture of addiction. And so what I learned from Chomsky and these alternative voices is the truth for me to create my own education, Alan Watts style, create my own university, because what I look out there, it's meant to dumb me down. It's meant to help become addictive, dependent on a system that hasn't set me free. And so the sad thing that I'm realizing now in my own experiences, if you look at anywhere, it's all this upselling stuff. It's all these robots, these salespeople, these solicitors, advertisers, marketers who are puppets of this fucking psychology that started with Ed Bernays, who stole Freud's psychology in the 1920s, who started public relations and basically said through propaganda that we as corporations and the government we can't use war and threaten and physical violence much anymore to keep the herd in control. We have to use psychology. We have to use propaganda to brainwash the masses, because they don't think they can handle it themselves, or they don't have the intelligence, or corporations would lose money if the mass society and the people were able to make their own individual autonomous decisions for what's best for them. So it's sad that you see this still today when you call and get cable, or it's so hard. You know what I'm saying? The bureaucracy, the system, how many times I got a call back from my insurance. They have the wrong membership idea. It's not claimed. The whole system is designed from the lower person up to the top for their own self-interest, to get their bonuses. And what you see is so sad, and it's not just the cheesy ass car salesman back in the 80s who are trying to rip you off and sell you this busted ass car for 10 grand when it's really worth 4, and it has all these problems. They dictate. So it's like a psychological prison, is that when you go onto their grounds, when they have the power, because they have the knowledge and all the training and stuff like that, and they guide you just like fucking cattle that are about to be slaughtered. They guide you into what is going to be most beneficial. And that's what I say. We live in a social economic dictatorship, that the people in the top who got the most money, who control the government, the media, the politicians, and the whole nine, create this agenda, this establishment, this propaganda, continue to lead my brothers and sisters into a culture of addiction that is killing us, that is cancerous. And then we have all these people, Rush Limbaugh and stuff like that, spreading this propaganda, this poison out into the media, making millions and millions of dollars to continue to keep people dumbed down, and so they don't do their own research and educate and free their mind, Bob Marley style. So it's sad to continuously see this, but this is the truth. This is my experience. And you look out there when people pay roads, and that comes to Foucault, the power dynamics. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You lose yourself when you enter that establishment. It has its culture. It has its power. So you put on that doctor suit. You put on that administrative assistance. You put on your sales suit, and you become a mask. And you become a mask and an instrument for that company, for that corporation, and you lose your soul in the process. And so it's sad that this is the reality, because it's this pressure, this American Western capitalistic PTSD trauma that we're all under, because the pressure that we're going to be exploited, disadvantaged, overselling. Like I heard, it's just the sad thing that my mechanic that I went to had a post on his billboard or his sign outside that we don't oversell, we just will fix what you need. And why do you have to say that? Why is that okay that people oversell you stuff that you don't need? And this is where I'm at right now. And this is where the Wu-Tang Kill the Bee movement, not in like the harshness of the Wu, but to stop that these alternative voices that are coming up, Zeitgeist movement, Noam Chomsky, Michael Parente, Peter Joseph, John McMurtry, all these warriors, courageous, intellectual, smart, doing the research. This is what we want to promote. This is the society. We come like Wu-Tang to hit you from every single angle. YouTube, Facebook, radio, alternative voices. And that's why we have to have this network neutrality, to have these alternative voices and radio stations and TV shows to get an outlet, so the mass media consumerist style continues to perpetrate the airways and stuff like that. And so we have to be able to have our own voice be put out there about what's really going on in the system, in society. And so I hope just more people, educate themselves, get their own knowledge, and see what's really going on here. And back to this PTSD, that you get angry and frustrated because in the power of the herd mentality, if you're on the outside, you're going to get clipped. You know what I'm saying? Or you're behind, you're not part of it. The force, the synergy of the group cohesion is so strong. You're an outsider, alienated of the mainstream. It takes so much energy and research to continuously go in these systems to speak the truth, to do your research. And thank God for the internet to do your own research, but to educate yourself. I'm not blaming anybody. This is just how it is. This is the system. This is the socio-economic system that we lived in. It is ingrained in the system, and that's just what's the byproduct, this cancerous tumors through poverty and through drug addiction and through unemployment. These are just symptoms of the social pathology that we're under now. So to be able to see that, and you recognize that, the awareness, you see this prison that is out there, and you have to be so vigilant and on guard and smart and wise and healthy to be able to see all this stuff with clarity, because you could get knocked off very easily because you go into certain situations and you don't know what you can trust, and you're on their territory. And this is my last statement, and this is what we have to move to, is instead of this social dictatorship where the government, where I just said, dictates to us the culture, our values, what we want to listen to, what the agenda, foreign policy, and all that stuff. The government is meant to serve the people. And when it says clearly in the Declaration of Independence, when the government officials fails to serve the people's best interest, the people have the right to create a new system, to revolt against the system that is not serving us. We are the people. And here's the key thing. This is my philosophy, and this is my awakening educational process, is they don't have the power on me. I have the power. When I go into these corporations and these folks, you're not going to dictate to me what you want to sell me. I know what I want. So just get out the way. It's like the public library. I go there, I know what I want, no hassling, no salesmanship, no bullshit, no trying to be sleazy and coupons and discounts and bargains and buy one get one free. It's just filthy. It's getting out of control. Please just leave me alone and creating a new system that we're looking at, the Zeitgeist movement, a resource-based economy that is using science and technology so we don't have to continue to use human beings that are flawed, and we all have problems, science and technology, to look efficiently without morals and pride and power and imperialism and all that stuff that continues to erode our culture and cause so many problems. So what I'm looking at now is the government, the media, politicians, marketing, advertising is not here. I'm not here to serve them. I'm not advertising. They're not going to brand me. They're not going to enslave me because they continue to want to make money and grow off third world countries and slavery and things like that for my own selfish desire. So I wear $50 Gap pants, $50 Chuck Taylors, and I still, I wear stuff from Malaysia, Indonesia, China, where the rights of people aren't. It's America, it's still bad, but all over the country where we still use people as commodities for our own best interests and opulence in this country, and we live in this economic oppression. You know what I'm saying? And so work hard and get ahead. Yeah. Wake up one day, and be raised in $1 million house. You got pulled. It's just like going to Nichols here in Buffalo. Come on, man. Come on. The parents has got jack. They got influence. You pay 15, 20 grand to go to Nichols, right? You got pull. You got networks until all the financial places and stuff like that. You just have to draw in between the lines. You get into your nice college, pay your 40 G's, get your education, whatever, get your nice little house, drive your fucking Land Rover and Benz. That's all you gotta do if you want to. See, that's the key, and I'm going on my rant. Maybe I'm arrogant or not, but I know the capitalist system. I know the corporate system. I know the yes man. I know what they want to hear. I know how to play their game, but I choose not to play the fool's game anymore because it bores me. And so that's what I have to do. My man, I'm making $150 a week working at a pizzeria, and I'm not bragging about that. This is how I roll because I want to be free, delivering a couple pizzas, washing dishes, sweeping, mopping, doing chicken wings, getting greasy, and that's real to me. You know what I'm saying? You could get that 500 G's being in Wall Street, but you're just another suit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got no style. You got no swag. American Psycho style. You know what I'm saying? That you're ravenous in the inside, just like my man JC. Watch out for those cats who pretend that they're sheep, prophets on the outside, sheeps, but on the inside they're ravenous wolves. And maybe people don't like this and maybe they don't, but I think this is the type of the real stuff, the real raw stuff that's going to be censored and edited by networks and conservative CEOs or whatever, that it has to go through all these channels to see if it's all right for the advertising and marketing. You know what I'm saying? And this is how we got to keep this net neutrality so we can bring the real deal, that we're not going to be afraid to speak our voice. And that's true democracy where I'm at in my life, taking my money out of Fidelity and stuff like that, and maybe even taking out a bank account. So hopefully you live in a system that doesn't have monetary, that's based on bartering. You know what I'm saying? You just get tired of it. Bartering, negotiating, it's so lame, it's so medieval. We could have different, but that's just how it goes. So I try to stay out of it. Thank God for online, you know what I'm saying, where you don't have to deal with it. And that's sad. You know what I'm saying? That my people, a lot of people gotta do that to support families. They gotta sell out their values because they gotta make that jack, and then cash rules everything around me. Not no more. Cash don't rules everything around me, but we come like Wu-Tang, intellectually, spiritually, to awaken the masses to see how beautiful and how much culture and love that they have inside of them, instead of dependent on a culture of addiction that is going to enslave them, that is designed to set them free. You know what I'm saying? And so bringing this message to help people realize how beautiful, how much love, creativity, and we come and we swarm in love, not doing the kumbaya stuff, but we do the stop maybe because we're tired tired of this stuff. We're tired of this mass addiction, this mass hysteria, this mass propaganda of social control. You know what I'm saying? So this is how we come from the underground. This is how we do it. This is how we add an education, or, you know, using iPods, whatever you got to do. Check out the guys. Check out Michael Parenti. Check John McMurtry, and the whole nine. Is that we're coming together as a people to seeking the truth, and we're going to demand the truth. Either you get on with the new bus, get on with the new solution, or you're going to be left behind. And don't be crying. You have the information. Don't be crying now in your $5 million houses and rolling on with all your cars and stuff like that, complaining about the economy and recession that you've been exploiting, that you've been a part of. So you got to wake up now. What's more important to you? Is that the definition of success? You can draw in between the capitalistic lines and exploit people to make millions of dollars by not contributing something. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why, for me, you know, I don't really have a technical skill, you know what I'm saying? I was a social worker for all that time, but I realized that was just part of the canceristic social pathology, that it wasn't really the root cause, and that's become a problem because in this capitalistic monetary market system, that problems create money and they create jobs. So in a sixth sense, in therapy and stuff like that, and social worker, that we become dependent on the client, because if they get healthy and they get cured and things like that of the ailments, we got to go find somebody else, and it's just all corrupt. And I believe that the system, whatever it touches, it's going to turn to rust. And I want my heart, Neil Young size, to be heart of gold, that I'm searching for a heart of gold. And I hope when you encounter me, you know you're going to see a heart of gold, because I'm the truth and I never sold out my soul. Peace out.